Hello, welcome to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network. We are a radio, TV, and a podcast station. We are the number one internet talk network. We're going bold every day, but we're going bold today, right? And you can find all of our information right there on goingboldmedia.com. I am Cece Shatz. I am one of the hosts. I'm the Doyenne of relationship building. You can find my information on the Going Bold Connection or the Going Bold Media. And then my wonderful co host, Joanne Weiland. She's the Chief Connections Officer and the founder and collaboration cloud community, which is called Link to Expert. And you guys are in a treat because we are on the Link to Expert Business Showcase. And so I'm going to let Joanne take over because she's actually going to be interviewing me. So
Thank you,
our topic
Cece.
today is the journey from darkness to light regarding myself. Mhm.
And I love it because of the fact that I don't know how most of you have probably been watching Cece for 10, 12 years, and she's always so wonderful to help everybody get known, to share their stories. And I just said, Cece, it's time we tell your story. You have done such incredible, extraordinary things, and we just want to learn more about you because I really do feel like this is the business showcase slash author's corner. And I feel like we forget sometimes with the business showcase, it's all different kinds of businesses, like her being, what I would call a radio, TV, podcast host forever, and it has evolved with the times. So I would like to share with the people that are joining us live now, as well as listening later, some of these stories that are going to be, to me, incredible. The more I know about her, the more I want to know about her, the more I'm impressed, the more I'm excited to share it with you. And I know, for example, that with her, Doyenne, we were talking about that earlier. What does that really mean? She's like the leader, the mother, the inventor of relationship building. And why is that important? Because every day in our lives, we really do need to have relationships to feel good, feel happy, feel excited, love life in all different forms. And she actually is a dating mentor. What does that mean? Well, a lot of times, we thrive more if we're with someone. And not that I personally love to be alone every day, have silence, but I think too that she helps mentor people how to do dating the right way. I mean, she has for over these last 12 years, this is totally incredible to me that she has been able to not just take her shows, and I'm going to share with you in a minute the different shows that she's brought to the world, but also that she has connected to 57 networks. Well, why is that important? Well, we can have all these shows, but if nobody sees them, who cares? So she's worked with all these radio shows, all these TV shows, all these podcast shows, meaning not shows. I used the wrong word. I apologize. TV networks, radio networks, podcast networks. And why is that important? Because now, with those 57 that she's taken time either to ask to be on there, or many times now they actually invite her to be on these networks. Now, with these 57, and I'm just going to tell you, they're not free. Many times you have to pay to be on them, as well as prove yourself is the number one thing. They don't want just anybody on their network. But now she's up to over 5 million viewers on these 57 networks, and that's still growing. She just had one the other week invite her to be on their network. So you might not realize it, but being on one of her shows is priceless because of the fact that you get in front of these 57 networks of 5 million people. And so I just wanted to share that with you too. She's, of course, the owner, the CEO of WGSN-DB network. And now we're under our umbrella, we're calling it the new, which is the never ending entertainment worldwide. And then, as you know, she's been doing going bold for 10, 12 years, the Going Bold Network. I'm sorry, the Going solo network. I
The Going
apologize.
Solo Network.
She's been a co-host forever, and a host. This is very new to me, but she also is, been doing the Going Solo, and the Going Solo is amazing because she helps so many single people move forward in their lives. And I mean, I think you could learn from her shows on the Going Solo, whether you're single or not. But I really believe her helping these singles move forward helps them even be in business. So then she started the Going Bold Network, and that helps us learn more about businesses. And she's been doing a lot of shows about business showcasing as well as Author's Corner over the years. But now we wanted to revitalize it and bring it even more forefront. And that's why we decided to collaborate and work together. Number one, I'm the collaboration expert, but number two, she does it without even calling herself that, but she really is. And it's a way for us to get exposure to so many people that can help us grow to personally as well as professionally. We just did a show a couple minutes ago with Tom Gay that actually helps you network, because of the fact that if you don't network and build relationships, usually your business will not thrive. So we're excited about the relationship building, the networking. Actually, this month we're going to be talking about multiple streams of income. Next month in November, we're going to be talking about networking. So we really do believe these things are so important to grow your business. And I also wanted to let you know that she's not only does all these things, but she also is a mom of 4 children and a grandma, 5 children. Oh my goodness,
Five that are alive. I had 6, but 5 that are alive. Yeah.
well,
Don't leave a child off.
I'm so sorry. I'm
I
embarrassed.
already get the "you're my favorite." I don't want to hear that.
But yeah, right? And how many grandchildren?
I have four grandchildren and 5 children that are alive. I had 6. One Harrison, I'm not Harrison, but yeah, one passed away. But yeah, Harrison is the baby. The baby, yeah. And Aaron passed away. But yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad you corrected me, because for
Yeah.
some reason I was thinking it was 4, and I even thought that was incredible because I only ever had one. And I mean, so not only does she split her time with all these
Oh,
shows,
thank you, Moses. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Yeah.
but yes, and then with the grandkids too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I also wanted to let you know that I actually went on YouTube earlier today.
Uh-oh.
And I was looking at all these different shows that I knew she had tons of them, and I've been on some of them myself already, and I watched some myself and I love them. But I just thought I'm going to just go through, if you don't mind, Cece, and just give a, a highlight of there was actually 42 shows I saw minimum, and 25 of them you're either a host or a co-host. And I would just like to read them off because of the fact that I want to give our audience an example of the different types of ways you really do help singles move forward for the last decade or so, because
Okay.
it really is showcasing your expertise. And to me, of course, I really believe that people need to have an area of expertise. And many times I call it, there's an umbrella under it, just like you did the new network and the Going Bold and the Going Solo underneath it. Well,
Right.
since I feel like you're the singles, helping singles move forward expert, but there's so many different ways you do it, which is phenomenal. For an example, how to find love after divorce. I'm not going to go into each one of them. I'm just going to name them because we wouldn't have time to
So
talk
these are
about
some of
all.
the shows that I've actually done.
These are the shows that some she's done and
You're gonna
some.
make me tired. I know.
No, but I just wanted to let people know the diverse, the under this umbrella of
Yeah.
going solo. Okay, financial dignity after divorce. That's priceless too. Parents, children on the spectrum. Okay, that's near and dear to my heart. I will talk about that on another show. Holistic divorce. From leaking, from lacking data life to meaningful connections with the right skills. as you can see, these are so practical, but yet deep. Survive and thrive after divorce. Many of us just want to crawl in a hole and not come out. So she's just encouraged so many people over the last decade or so. Stop throwing cash into the trash. We all need to learn from that one. How to stop the disappointment patterns in romance. Isn't it so bizarre how we actually don't even realize it, but we get stuck in these patterns and we stay there. And if we don't become aware that we have them, we can't seem to get out of them. We just keep going, I call it the happy hamster wheel, keep going round and round. You think you're going really fast, but you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
10 ways to shift your mindset to living a positive life. I mean, I love it. Going solo, of course, that was, I think, your first show, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And, you know, I will say that a lot of these shows, not just me, but I have wonderful guests and showcase them and what they do and, you know, really bringing to light, you know, like the one was a book, you know, stop throwing your cash in the trash. That was she's an author. It was awesome, you know, but bringing in these wonderful people that share not only, you know, their expertise, what they do, but also highlight ways that we can help ourselves, you know, live better, live a more productive and happier life. Yeah.
And if it's okay with you, after I finish your list, I was going to share the other types of shows you have on your network.
Okay. Sure.
I really feel like all of this, again, fits under the umbrella, but it's just priceless.
Mm-hmm.
Divorce, limited scope representative. Limited scope representative. Start to be live. Live. Is it live or live? Start to be live, I think. Like alive.
Live. Start
Yes.
to live life. Yeah.
Oh, it's life. I can't even read my own writing, but I thought I wrote live. I'm embarrassed.
Maybe start to live your life, right?
I to live, but live life, just, in other words, live your life to your fullest. Okay, next one. Feeling empower during and after divorce. That is huge too. We all need to empower ourselves, whether we're going through a divorce or not. But I really feel like that's a really good reminder, because a lot of times it does bring you down, and you have to bring yourself up and empower yourself.
Yeah.
Better divorce blueprint. We all need blueprints in all different parts of our lives. I know I'm one of those people that is a mind mapper, and I always creating blueprints, but I think it's priceless. So thank you, Cece. Choices, the transition through and after divorce. Starting divorce, what you need to know. It is something you should consider before you decide to do. So thank you, Cece, again. Business, late lunch showcase hour. Like we were saying, there is, you know, other business showcases she's had in the past too. So I'm thrilled to be one of the new co-hosts to be on the business showcase. Thank you. Options and choices in divorce. Woo! I mean, we all need to know our options and our choices to make the right choices. So thank you. Chick's Passion Show. I haven't watched that one, but I think that sounds like a fun one. Chakra empowerment. Oh, I love it that we need to align our chakras to live the best life we can.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute must-haves before finalizing your divorce. Again, we need to learn from different people, especially different experts, of how to do a lot of these things, and not just do them, but do them in a beneficial way, creating win-win-wins for everybody. Another one, date the right love. Sometimes we just want to get out there and make it happen instead of realizing if it's the right one. Mm-hmm. Another one is breaking repeating patterns.
Oh,
like we were talking about before, but if you keep having those repeating patterns that aren't serving you, how do you break them and move forward? achieve financial independence after a life trauma transition. We all have gone through different traumas, different people at different times in their lives at different types of traumas, but we really do need to learn how to achieve financial success after that setback. I love this title, Boy and Girl Thing Show. The Boy and Girl Thing Show is, I mean,
I
again,
do that show with Dr. Christopher Salute, who is
that's what I was going to,
truly an
yeah, so,
awesome man. Awesome man. Yeah. And we have so much fun doing that show.
and that's what I wanted to share too. Lily says she co-hosts, and some of them that she is the host. And there's a couple here that, you know, I just thought I'd bring up too, that she even has other people hosting, but because she believes in those topics and those types of information to be brought to the world, she welcomes them and, you know, does all the technology and all the stuff behind the scenes we might not always realize. But when you're on a show like this, there is so many details that have to be done to make this possible. And thank you, Cece, for learning all of those, and thank you for, you know, making it look easy, because when we come on, all we do is do what I'm doing now, talk, and that's easy for me. But there is so many things to be done before the show, during the show, after the show. And I just appreciate you. So
Oh,
here's a couple more shows that are also on the Going Solo or Going Bold network. Your blended family is you're a blended family. Now what? That's huge. Today, I mean, who do you know that isn't a blended family? It's really sad, but true. When I was a kid, there was only one person in my whole school that I knew that had a stepdad. And, you know, now who doesn't?
I know. I know. And it's like, you know, now when I thought about, you know, my son is, you know, younger, we get divorced and stuff. And I was always so worried about him. And he said, you know, I said, well, how, you know, one time I said, talk to, how do you feel about it? And he goes, Mom, you know, everybody's divorced. I would have been was the odd one out when you guys were together. So it's like, I thought, oh, geez, you know, out of the mouth of babes, you know.
Wow, that's sad, but true. I
Oh,
bet.
it is true. But here it is like you want to help your children, you know, as you progress, you know, as they progress in their life and they do things, and we don't want them to feel like they're the odd one out, or that they don't have someone to talk to because, you know, um, but when we start creating blended families, they have a lot of people to talk to. So,
Right, exactly. And do I pronounce it right? Rosalind she's one of the hosts on that one
sorry, what
too.
is
Rosalind, your blended.
Rosalind Sadaka? Oh, if you guys don't know Rosalind, you've got to look her up. Rosalind Sadaka. She's been actually with me, you know, supporting me and uplifting me from the very beginning. When I said I'd like to do this, she goes, "You need to do this." So yeah, so from the very very beginning, she was there. But she is a divorce coach, but she's also a parenting coach, which is very very important. So as you're moving through divorce, if you have children, she helps with that. But she's got a wonderful business. It's called Child Center Divorce, and look it up, childcenteredivorce.com. She helps many many families, you know. So what we're trying to get across is that you can be divorced, but you can still have a family. You know, your family is still united, and if that starts to break down, what you can do to help that with that, and then also if it is broken, what can you do to survive, to move through and be the best parent you can be to your children. So yeah, she's a wonderful person.
And she has quite a few other shows too. Feeling peace during divorce.
Yeah.
I mean, that, you know, peace is priceless.
She's great. I mean, she's got a lot of shows because, like I said, she started at the very beginning with me.
But I love it. She does them sometimes solo. It looks like navigating high
Mhm,
conflict,
mhm.
um, co-parenting, back to parenting, which is what we were talking about a minute ago. So important. And then I see she also co-hosts with Amy, like moving your divorce from combative to collaborative.
Right. And Amy is actually her sister, and
Oh,
she's a
really?
therapist, a licensed therapist. And she started getting so busy that she doesn't do the show quite so much, but they were both a great balance with each other. But they've done oodles of shows, and they're on our network. We hope that people will listen to them and really get the information that they need.
Yes, like I did. You can pick a network, but I picked YouTube for an example. There was another one that her and Amy did, Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living show. I mean, whatever you're going through, I feel like Cece has a show to help you. I mean,
Yeah.
there's another gentleman, Jack.
Sean White, and yeah, she's not doing it. She has been ill and she hasn't been doing the show, but she's great. She's a divorce coach too. Yeah.
Good, good. Yeah, I think it's wonderful that you have all these people. Jackson with Lax, is it Lax Life? And I'm trying to read my own writing again. LAX Life. But he also had another one, I think. Ask Jackson, it was called, I think.
I'm not sure about that one.
That's okay. And then Jason Weiss,
Oh,
divorce.
Jason White. Oh, yeah. He asked Jason White show. He's awesome. He is an attorney himself, and he's also a coach helping business leaders and attorneys to being able to really be the best that they can be. Because there's so many, attorneys go through so much education, but at the end of it, they really don't know how to kind of run their business to be able to be successful. And a lot of them are starting to turn away from, working because they're not quite sure on how to go about, running their business. And so, yeah, so he kind of helps them and also encourages them to step out and be who they are, because so many times they have some other interests. And so they're very intelligent individuals themselves. And so why not take what they love and also expand on that, which Jason's done himself. He's had both of his children, believe this or not, both of his children are on the show. They both have shows that they've done. They have businesses themselves, successful businesses. And they're not even, I think one is now the oldest one. He does long pole. I think it's longpole.com. And he's now graduating, going to college. His other one is in high school and has a successful business. So, I mean, think about it. I mean, he's great. So go to Ask Jason Weiss and listen to his shows. They're great. He's got a lot of attorneys on, and you'll be surprised at some of the information that's there.
No, that's huge. I know I was on a board of directors with the International Business Council for years.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the people also on the board were attorneys. And it was interesting. And what they did, to give you an example, like you said, that they're really not taught how to run the business. It's more like, what's the law?
Right.
And most of them were actually the president of a binational chamber, like, the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, the Indo-U.S. Chamber, Indian, U.S., we had the Japanese, we had the Hispanic, we had all different types of binationals. And because they usually were, of course, associated with that group, and they knew how to work with the mother country as well as here, but that was one way they did business. But I learned the same thing that you just said about Jason, that they really weren't taught from school, going through all those years to become an attorney,
right,
of how to run a business. And it really is interesting. So I would really recommend you listen to him, because I think that is huge. But do you see what she's doing to everybody? She's still taking the spotlight and turning it on these people, but we'll continue because more. But I
mean, that is his spotlight, and a lot of those shows, believe it or not, are business shows. And you want to check, if you're in a business, you want to check it out, because he talks about trademarking. They talk about things that you could say on the internet and not say, copyright, all kinds of things like that. So very, very informative.
That's a good point. Do you know Cece listens to every one of these shows? She is amazing. I'm serious.
Or not, I'll listen again, because
she doesn't only talk the talk, she walks the walk. She really, really does all these things. Folks, I just want you to know this woman is truly amazing. There's another one that she has on Finding Hidden Assets, about accounting, I think that one was, with Hasha Hersham. I'm not sure if I pronounced it right. There's another one, Dreaming to Become You.
Yeah, Dreaming to Become You.
Dr. Pinar, I don't even know if I can read my writing, but Holly has one that's How to Heal While Going Through Your Divorce. I mean, again, they're either business or their relationship, but we both all know that they're intertwined anyway. I mean, your personal life, if you have a crappy personal life, usually your business suffers. If your business is suffering, a lot of times your personal life suffers. So they really go hand in hand, and we need to learn about both. Another one, Divorce Pitfalls to Avoid. Another one, even a church, Grace Thoughts. It's
Grace
beautiful.
Thoughts is my church that I go to.
Oh, is it? Where are they
And
located?
I talked him into sharing his sermon with us because I get so much out of it. And I thought, well, if I get so much out of it, so will other people. So I have his sermon on, and we do that on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. We play it. And I get a lot out of it. And I just think, it, other people would too. So we have his show now. And believe it or not, on Roku, it is extremely popular.
Really cool.
They really do like it on Roku. So yeah.
What type of denomination, easy for me to say, is it?
Christian. It's a
Okay,
Christian.
good. Just in case anybody's wondering, but I would love you to tune in. And then Getting Started with Doug is another one. And
Yeah, they were a great show. He's taking a siesta on it. I'd love to bring him back, but they had a fun show because they talked about all kinds of things like how do you get started in coin collecting? How do you get started in being an actor? How do you get started and stuff? And I thought his was really cool. And so yeah, I would love to get him to come back or have somebody else that wants to do something like that. Because how do you get started? Like, how do we get started in what we're doing now? You know what I mean?
Well, that is going to be my next. I'm down to one more that I'm going to talk about, and then I would want to know that false allegations of abuse. So that Carl puts that show on, as well as high conflict divorce. So I just feel like she has so many choices, but yet they're all meaningful. They're all valuable. And so, Cece, I know, one time you told me this, so tell me more, and everybody else. Like, you started this, I think, by doing a singles meetups, and then maybe even taking them on a trip. I know you've even taken singles on.
Yeah, I mean, well, how I started this actual network was I was on somebody else's show. I was on my girlfriend's show, Connie, and we went to high school together, and she asked me to be on her show, Victims to Survivors. She does great work. She really helps victims turn into survivors, and she was abused herself, and she helps that, and she does a lot with trafficking and many other things, but really helping awareness of that. But I was on her show talking about domestic violence in a relationship, and I've experienced it myself and wanted to be able to share it in our divorce support group, which is on we have a meetup on it, and so we talk about that a great deal. People share things with me, and so we talked about that when I came out. They offered, and believe it or not, these hosts paid for their shows. I paid a lot of money, pay a lot more than what any of our hosts pay for. They said, we love you. And both the co-owners of the station said, we'd love to bring you on. And that was just podcasting. It was not video. It was just simply audio podcasting. And so I went on their show and on their station, and that's how I started Going Solo Life After Divorce, and that took off, went crazy, and we did internationally and everything, and the show was nominated for an award at one time. It was really, it really just went crazy, and then also. Bay News 9, which is our local TV station, they came out, did a segment on us, and that went nuts with the Going Solo Network, and that built that up. And so I came out of a divorce, very bad divorce, basically lost everything, if not even, like, some say you have your shirt on your back, your t-shirt on your back. I didn't even have my t-shirt on my back. It was terrible, and really suffered a great deal through that, which is why the Going Solo network has been developed, is because, I know what it's like to be with nothing, have no one, and be able to move forward. So we created this connection, right? And so this connection started both in person and then now worldwide with the Going Solo network. And so, yeah, so we have thousands of people, and now we went on Roku, Amazon TV, Apple TV. We're on some other TV stations too, but just on Roku and I think it's Apple, maybe Apple or Amazon. But just that alone is 5 million and growing. And then we've got all of the other 50 some platforms that we do podcasting with. Like you said, there were some that you can't even go on until you get so many followers, and then you actually can go on. And then we, like even today, I want to tell you, I picked up another station that contacted me, and we're now going to be on their station. So we're going to be doing that. So I'm just delighted that it's grown like it has, because our motto is changing lives one talk show at a time. And I think that we're definitely do that. But we've now gone into the Going Bold, and the reason we've done the Going Bold is that I've found that those that have gone through the Going Solo, who have now established their new life as being single, moving through maybe transition of dating, maybe a partnership or whatever, they want to continue this self-help. But also those that are not, that are in relationships, they're seeing our shows, and they're saying, you know what, there's a quality about them that is resonating with them, something that they want to internally continue to strive to be the best person they can be. And so what I realized is that we need to go bold. We're going bold in our lives, right? And so by uniting ourselves with other people, great experts, wonderful hosts, wonderful guests that we have on, by uniting ourselves with them, we can continue to learn from within, take what we need, and go boldly in our life, and be strong, and really achieve what it is that we want to achieve throughout our lives. Because at the end of the day, we want no regrets, right? We want to be able to live our life to the fullest, and so we are internally going solo eternally, because we are, one person individually. So we're going to continue to strive within ourselves, but we're going to go bold and create partnerships with people, both personally and in business. And we're going to continue to build our lives the best way we can. And by doing that, being centered in our core, understanding our values, what's important to us, that's what we want to do. And so there's bumps along the way, and we want to be able to be there for people to help them through that. So I get talking and and then I get going. So I do apologize.
No, no, Cece, I think the listeners, the viewers want to know this, because I feel like, when you have this passion that shows through and through, they want to know, like, how did you get it? Because face it, a lot of people don't really know what their passion is. But I do believe that when you really take time, and a lot of times it's being alone time, and think on what makes you so happy that you would just could be doing it and you lose track of time. What could you be, what do you do that you just could do it every day if you had to, or wanted to, or could, I should say could? Because Cece, I think just like you said, that you were on that first show, and you just knew, on Connie's show, that you just knew that there was something there that you needed to explore. And look how it's exploded into this massive network. And I just want you to know, it might seem like a long time because it's, about 12 years, but there, that old saying, about this instant success is really the instant 10-year success. I mean,
Yeah.
it really,
Well, nothing good in life happens overnight.
overnight.
It really doesn't.
Does it?
Nothing really good in life. And so I've gained so much from this, both, personally and business wise. It's given me something to strive for, gives me something to wake up in the morning, and really enjoy doing. So it's not a a bad thing at all. But I was going to say too, it's gotten me out of my comfort zone, because that first show that I did by myself, even with Connie, I was like so nervous, and then with uh, and I'm I know that it sounds like that I'm a talkative person, but I'm actually kind of shy. But it got me out of my comfort zone. It turned me and it shifted my life into something totally unreal. I'm just so happy and so blessed that I'm here. But it also, the very first show I did by myself, I thought I was going to pass out. She had to take a break because she was afraid I was going to pass out. And so, but I was so nervous and it was a mess. But now I'm just like, whatever. I just go on, because here's the reality. Those that listen to our show are not perfect, right? They're not even striving to be perfect. They're trying to live their life one day at a time. They're trying to exist and be the best that they can be. And that's all I'm trying to do. And that's all I ever ask of our hosts. That's all I ever ask of our guests, is just be the best that you can be. Share with the audience what they need to hear, what they need to know, right? And there's going to be different points in our life, different times in our life, that we'll hear a show that we don't really resonate with. But the reality is as we move forward in our lives, we're going to think, oh yeah, there's that show. I want to go back and listen to that show. And I want to have that accessible. And I just had somebody yesterday ask me, well, why don't you charge like the streaming networks do? Why don't you charge? And the reason I don't charge is because the people that are listening need to hear this information, and it needs to be there for them. And if they can't afford it, they need to be able to have access to it. So if you've got internet or if you've got your phone, you can have access to it. And that's what I want. So I'm hoping that we can get sponsors and we can get advertisers that can help subsidize us, so that we can continue to grow, continue to bring this great information to people so that they can listen to it. So that's really what we're hoping, that we can continue on with that. And also have great advertisers, great sponsors that we can share their information. Like we had Tom Gay, we were talking about that regarding the Chat Bridge and the Chat Bridge Connect and the Engage Pro. We're both using that, and he's supported us. And so we're saying, yeah, hallelujah. Let's tell everyone about this great information, see if they can incorporate it into their businesses, make it their lives easier and more productive. And it's a win for everyone. So yeah. So
No, I'm totally with you. And that's what I was going to offer to, because we're running out of time. But Cece, that's exactly how I wanted to end it. And I'm glad you started it. I feel like if you liked what you heard and you have something that you would like to share, whether you want to be interviewed on one of our shows, whether you want to actually have your own show, whether you want to be advertised on one of the shows or many of the shows, and then be a sponsor. If you're interested, we can send you the information, because of the fact that it does take all of us to do this type of massive undertaking. But each one of us, when we do our together as the whole, that really does benefit humanity worldwide. And that's why I love that you have the never ending entertainment worldwide, because of the fact that different people around the world need different messages at different times. And like you said, I know I often read a book or read something or watch something, and it's like, but later, a couple months later or whatever, I might think, oh my God, I need to listen to that again, because I really want to, understand it more, because now I'm in a better place of being able to comprehend what they're trying to say. So we just welcome you to, be on one of our shows, have your own show, be advertised on one of our shows or many shows, as well as be the sponsor of many of the shows. So whatever fits your budget, whatever fits your schedule. Because like, for an example, with me, when Cece asked me to be a co-host, at first I was like, I don't know, because I've been asked so many times, but she makes it easy. Trust me, she makes it so easy if you want to either be a co-host or a host. So the other part of it is that you can rest assured that she makes it so easy. With, again, she said about how I always say about automate. Well, I believe that she really understands it more than she realizes, because I do believe we need to eliminate a lot of things in our life and business and automate and delegate to others. She really does take on the grunt of it. Of course, you have to come up with, you know, what you want to talk about, or if you want to have guests on. But the other part of it is, many times you might even already have a commercial already created that we could put as an advertisement. And if you don't, we can help you create one. So there, don't ever think that, you know, nothing's possible. We also have so many other ways that we can expose what you, you know, want to talk about. And we can talk about that on another show, but we have ways that we can distribute it in so many ways on this network, on what Link to Expert's been doing for years, to get your message to the masses, because of the fact that we know your expertise really does need to be known, because of the fact that with your expertise, you can save and help so many people save time and even money and enjoy their life more, because of the fact that you can take that piece of the puzzle out and then focus on what you do best and keep thriving.
Yeah.
So between what Cece's done and what I've created, and not me alone and not her alone, of course, we have teams that help us do all these things. So I don't mean to just take the credit, but meaning we can make it so much easier for you to expose your area of expertise, your gift, your passion, whatever it is you want to discuss with us, that we can, you know, create something together to get you the exposure, because we all know you can do something phenomenal, but if nobody knows about it, what good is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys, if you want to reach Joanne, it's J Weiland, Weil, it's J, and then Weiland at linktoexpert.com. That's linktoexpert.com. If you want to reach me, it's the Going Solo Network at gmail.com. Going Solo Network at gmail.com. You know, I want to just say, oh, all of a sudden my nose itches, but I want to say that there's two different segments with regards to what we do. There's the listeners, and we love you, and we want to thank you so much for listening to us,
Yes.
and we appreciate what you bring to us, you know, because you help raise our vibration. Because as we put on these shows, we do different things for you. The more you listen to us, the more excitement that it brings. And isn't it great to listen to people that are not only expert in their field, wonderful, you know, connections that you get, but there's this a level of energy that you receive when you listen. And so that's why it's so important. Then we've got the other business side of it, right? Where we want to bring on hosts and guests to be able to bring the information to you. What better way to connect with a network that is actually striving to work for you? And you know, I've been on plenty because I started, like I said, I started my thing. No one advertised for me. No one promoted me. No one shared any information about me. We are on some of the major networks, and we make sure that all of the shows get put forward, the guests get put forward, and all of the information is shown right there for you to be able to have access to. And it's just very, very important that we continue to grow the network. We continue to do it because we all work together in it. So again, if you want to be a sponsor, we would love to be able to showcase you. We would love to be, it would be an honor to bring your information forward so that we could share it with everyone, with the masses, because that's what we're doing. We're growing it in the masses. And then if you want to be, you know, an advertiser, do something small, the thing, your budget. So don't think that, oh, I don't have a lot of money, I'm a new business starting out. You know what? We love you. We embrace you. So come on board, and we'll definitely help you to be able to do it. If you don't know how to do it, don't worry. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to do it. We didn't know how to do things when we started, but we just kept going, you know, stepping over the logs that were in front of us, and we just kept moving forward. And then if you want to be a guest, you know, or a host, we would love to be able to have you showcase your expertise in front of everyone, because our listeners love you. They absolutely love what you've got to say. They love what you want. They love what you're bringing forward. And so the more we can bring forward, the better for our listeners. So we all work together as a team. We all put it out there. So I'm just really thrilled to be able to be here, have a reason to get up in the morning and really make a difference in my world, in everyone's world. So I appreciate it.
And we appreciate you. And just as an example, when you said that if you don't know how to do it, look at how I have never been a co-host before. I have been on many interviews over my lifetime, and I'm grateful for that. But it is different being a host. You saw me stumble, and it's okay. I mean, all I can say is, your intentions are right. My intention was to bring Cece Shatz to the world because I feel like she's always the one that's behind the scenes helping all of us. But I feel like we needed to learn more about her and what makes her ticks. And we want to say thank you because Cece, from the bottom of my heart, I really do know you have been doing this from your heart and it shows. And thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I really appreciate you and all that you do. And it's fun. It's fun to be here. So it's just, I don't know. I can't express it enough how great it is and how rewarding it is, and just how much I enjoy it. So, and I enjoy, and all that you do too, Joanne. The Link to Experts, bringing that awareness to people that they do have an outlet, a place to be able to go to be able to share their information. And you do a lot. And another thing, we probably need to get off, I know, but I don't think also people realize all the different, not only are they getting exposure on the showcase that we're doing here, but they're getting, there's press releases and there's all kinds of, back
Blogs,
stuff.
directories.
Yeah, all this back end stuff, awareness stuff that's being promoted, that's being put out there. And what we do is, I call it, you call it drip marketing. I think I call it tiered marketing. So we do something very similar. So it starts with, and I know listeners, you may not care unless you are in business, but we start something where you not only what you see today, it'll continue on. It continues on, like all the networks that we're on. It's not a wham bam, thank you ma'am, we're over with, and you're a one day wonder. We keep sharing it weeks later, and so it'll go on one platform here, it'll go on another platform there, and so you might see a platform and say, well, their show isn't on there. Well, it's not on there yet, but it will be on there. And we just keep going. And we go where the listeners are. We want to go where they're listening. It would be arrogant for me to think that everybody's going to come to me and listen to me to where I am. No, I'm going to go where you are, and we'll make sure that all the information is out there. So anyhow, it was just something else I wanted to share, that it's not just, you and Joanne does like all the press releases. She does all of that kind of thing. She helps with a lot of different stuff, a lot of different exposure that you don't see from one end, but it is there on the other end. So yeah.
Well, I feel like what we're going to be talking about on some of our future shows about multiple streams of income, and a lot of it is what Cece's talking about, repurposing things. So I'm a big believer in what she was talking about with the Link to Expert Collaborative Cloud Community. Just as an example, you can take your press release and convert it into a blog, convert it into an article, convert it into a video, convert it into an audio file, all different things that we will show you and teach you. And that way you get your message out in multiple ways, because some people want to hear it. Some people want to listen to it. Watch it. Some people want to read it. So we just have so many ways that you get exposure to not just your connections, but we created a unique database exchange program. So you get in front of all the different members' contacts. So it's just a way to be a network of networks, but you don't get each other's contacts, but you get in front of them, just like how this is one of the main reasons that we wanted to work with Cece too, because we know that now she's also going to be able to help us get in front of more people, because it really is not just, just a handful of people, because let's face it, maybe they don't even need what you have, but they might know somebody else that does. So that's why you got to, get the exposure to the people that can possibly either use your services or buy your book or whatever it is, or of course recommend it to somebody else that can. So again, we could talk forever, but thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for Cece's commitment to, help us grow our relationships. So thank you, Cece.
Oh, you're welcome. So everyone, you're listening to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, and you're going to be seeing something new. You're going to be seeing, it's called New Stream Network or New Streaming Network. We haven't quite decided exactly where we're going to go with that, but you're going to see it's a new face that we have. Like we say, it's a lipstick we're putting on our platform. And that's because what we're doing is we're broadening. And the reason we're broadening it is because we don't want the listeners to miss out on any great shows that we have, any great hosts that we have, any great guests that we have on the network. So we realize that we have to broaden out a little bit more. You're still going to have your Going Solo, area, Going Solo Media. You're still going to have Going Bold Media. But what it's going to do is it's going to expand it so that we can share a little bit further more information for you. So you're going to see that a little bit. And then as we progress, the link to experts, you're going to get a great deal more information. So if you have a business, if you're looking to strive to build a business, work your business, LinktoEXPERT Business Showcase is definitely going to be one for you that you want to definitely come on, be a guest, and get your information out there. Because it's just, it amazes me how fast and how quickly we're growing, how much we're striving to be able to move ahead. So I feel like I'm kind of turning into an info commercial, so I want to stop that. But that's not what we're about. We're really about making friends and connecting with other people and sharing their information and all of that, and helping you, get through some of the darkest times in your life, because believe me, I have been there and I know exactly what that's like. And to think that I would have built a network like this, and it amazes me. And I will share with you just real quick. I know we got to go because we're getting over. I would have been smacking people for this, but when I first got divorced, right, friends of us got together, we did a reading, right? And when I did the reading, and Karen Rosenberg, I want you to know she was the psychic. She was great. And she did the reading. She said, "You're going to be on TV someday. You're going to be on the radio someday. You're going to have, thousands listen to you and all this stuff." I came out of the room going, she's crazy, because I can barely get up in the morning. I was like so devastated from my divorce. I was just, I thought my hair had grown longer every day because I wasn't doing a thing, And so anyhow, I thought she was nuts. And then here I am, right? Here I am talking to you each and every day on this platform, bringing wonderful hosts like, Joanne forward, wonderful guests that we have, like Tom Gay just was on today here with us. So, it's just, your life can forever be changed if you just listen to what somebody tries to tell you. And so listen to the shows, take in every single bit of it, and listen again if you need to. But your life can be changed one talk show at a time. So we're going to go for that, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.